Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for joining. So, in this session, I will be sharing the top tips to pass AWS exam. As I talked to a few of you before, so please note that today I will not teach you how to the knowledge of AWS itself, but in this study session, I will walk through how to study efficiently to pass your AWS exam. Okay. All right, so first of all, introduction and background. So first of all, I want to share with you why did I come up with this study session and what was in my mind 2 years ago when I started to learn for AWS exam. So in my head, it was full of I don't know. So what was I don't know? So this is me. This is me 2 years ago. I didn't know where to start. Also, I didn't know the good study guide and resources. And back then, there was no senior to consult because there was no senpai who took the AWS exam in English before me. So I don't know who to ask. And too many resources, too many information, I was overwhelmed. So I assume you joined the session because you have similar thoughts as me. There's so many resources out there, so many information, but you have too little time to process everything. Therefore, I thought it would be nice to share experience, and I condense only the most important information for you to prepare for the exam. All right, so hopefully today you will be from this guy right here to, this guy. All right, so you might be asking like, okay, SR, why should I trust you? So why my tips will work? All right, so I am now 4 times AWS certified. I passed Cloud Practitioner, Solution Architect Associate, and Professional. And last week, I just passed DevOps Engineer Professional exam. And I also failed once AWS exam. So I know how it feels to fail the exam, and I learned from my mistake. And I started with zero IT background. So I think everyone with the if they know how to study efficiently, everyone just can study for the exam and pass any exam. All right, so quick disclaimer. The tips that you're about to see are 100% based on my experience. Your case might be slightly different, but you get the idea. All right, before anything else, before you even start studying, let's understand the exam. All right, this is very important before you study for the exam. Make sure you understand about what kind of exam are you taking. So you can go to the AWS certification official website, but there are a lot of information, and the most important things that you have to pay attention to is on this slide right here. So first of all, basic information. So make sure you know the duration of the exam, number of questions, and the version. So I took this picture from the internet. This is a bit old, but as you can see, there is level divided by 4 levels right here. Make sure you know which level are you in. And for example, if you're taking SAA, Solution Architect Associate, you see there is SAA C02, which is the version of the exam. Now it's 03. In the future, probably 04. So make sure you know which version are you taking. So this will be helpful when you're looking for the study resource like books or video courses. And also make sure you know the duration itself. So this can help you for your time management during the exam. Because most of people, they thought they have enough time, but the exam is sometimes a bit difficult and they run out of time. So make sure you understand this. All right. Also, the next thing is exam guide. I don't know if you guys read the exam guide. I didn't really read carefully. So actually, there is two things that I want you to see, which is in scope and out of scope. This is really important. I didn't really see this, but actually, if you know about the out of scope thing, it will help you to answer the questions. And also check your available benefits and accommodation, such as sometimes they have discount. And if you're eligible, you can apply for ESL plus 30, which is the extra time you can get if you are a non-native English speaker. And also, this is the most important thing, schedule an exam. So when you just pick a date, schedule that exam, and you're more likely to keep you motivated. And also, if you study and then you feel like you're not prepared enough or you're not ready, rescheduling is always free, so nothing to lose. Okay, let's see what I mean by this basic information exam guide and the benefit itself. Okay. All right. So I think a lot of you want to take this Solution Architect Associate exam. So this is the official website of this certified Solution Architect Associate. You can scroll down, you can read this through, but what I want you to really pay attention to is this exam overview over here. So the length is 130 minutes, which is the duration. If you want to know the cost, it's here. Also the format, which is the number of questions, and also what kind of questions. There are multiple choice and multiple responses. All right, so next stop is scroll down, and I want you to see here exam review and exam guide right here. So let's click this one. Okay, so you can read this through the introduction, target candidate description. You need to have at least 1 year of hands-on experience right here. You can read this through, but what I really want you to see is here. You can see this appendix right here. Okay, so this appendix is the list of what kind of AWS services and feature that will be in your AWS exam. So for this SAA exam, we have like Amazon Athena, AWS AppSync, batch, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. You know, you get the idea. But what people don't really pay attention to is actually on the bottom, which is here. Out of scope AWS services and features. Now, you don't have to understand everything that is written here, but I really recommend you to just read through, at least remember the name of the services right here, because it really helps you when you try to answer the questions and you see the option there are, for example, let's see. Okay, let's say the satellite service is called AWS Ground Station. So if you see in the answer option, there is a ground station. Usually, most likely, it's the wrong answer. So you can eliminate that answer and then focus on other right answer. So this is really helpful. All right. Okay. All right. Next up is the benefits itself. So here I am in my training and certification profile. As you can see here, there is benefits 50% discount available for me. So this is really, people usually don't really pay attention, but it's here. You can use it if you need to. If you don't see it right here, you can click here on the nav bar and benefits. So we click here. Oops, I have to relog in. Oh no. Let's try again. Okay, so I click benefits right here. And you can see all the benefits you have here. For example, this discount right here. If you don't see the code, you can just click claim benefits right here. So I can click it right now. And then I got, as you can see, I got new code. And I can just use this code when I apply for my next exam. All right, and then one more thing is the exam accommodation. So you go to this home and you can see request exam accommodations here. So you click here. I already applied ESL plus 30 minutes, so it appears here. But if you don't see, you can click request accommodation and then select accommodation. You can click this drop down and then it will show you what kind of accommodation available to you. Click that and then click create. All right, that's about it. All right, this is actually a very new thing. As you can see, AWS just released it March 6th. Right, so there's a new AWS certified store in Japan. So before, there is a certified store in the US, but it doesn't ship to Japan. But now we have it in Japan. So I'm not sure how it works. It's just released, but I guess if you pass any exam, you can just click this and then go here. And then you can buy merchandise from amazon.co.jp. Yep, cool stuff. All right, let's go back to the presentation. Okay, this is bonus. I found this video on YouTube by Cloud Guru. I think it's very helpful to understand about all AWS certification. As you can see, they made a really good visualization of what services they cover in an exam. For example, this is Solution Architect Associate. You have to know a little bit of everything, around 20% deep. But for, let's say, a DevOps engineer professional, it's about the deployment choices. So you have to know a lot about DynamoDB, Elastic Beanstalk, CloudWatch, and other services. I guess this is including CloudFormation stuff. So this link right here is actually clickable. I will share this PPT later today. So if you have time, you can watch it on your own time. Right? Right now, the exam preparations. So for the preparation, I use video courses. There are a bunch of video courses on the internet, and I only recommend two. The first one is by Stefan Merrick. So he's from France, but he lived in the US and Australia. So he's fluent in English, and he's 10 times AWS certified. And he has the best-selling courses on Udemy. So most people usually use his course. However, some people said sometimes his English or explanation is a bit off. In that case, the next option is Neil Davis. So Neil Davis is from Australia. He has 15 plus years of experience in IT, and now he's run a company called Digital Cloud Training, which has a YouTube channel right here. You can click it through. I found some of his video are really helpful for me to, study for the AWS exam. All right, this is also clickable, so you can click it when I share you this PowerPoint. Okay, next one is books. If you ever need to learn from book, I also have two series that I recommended. First one is by Ben Piper. This is the SAA book. They also have the developer and also the cloud practitioner one. So what I like about this book is, so Ben Piper wrote a really insightful book, and it has practice questions by the end of every chapter. But this one, the second one, is by Neil Davis, which is the company Digital Cloud Training. Neil Davis condensed the most important information in a book. So if you only want to see keywords, you choose Neil Davis. But if you really want to know the insight, choose Ben Piper. All right, you also can click this link below. This will lead you to amazon.co.jp. So feel free to do so. Okay, by the way, Ben Piper doesn't have the solution architect professional level book. So I actually use this one by Neil Davis, and I found it, it's not the best book ever, but I found it helpful because it condensed into like not very thick book, but it's really readable and it's easy to understand. All right, so practice exam. So I found a lot of exam dumps here and there. It's actually just made me overwhelmed because it's just too many, right? But the only ones that really help me the most are what you see on the screen right now. So from the Udemy, I have Stefan Merrick and also John Bonzo. Now, Stefan Merrick is excellent at making video courses, but John Bonzo is really good at creating questions for practice exams. So I recommend, if you want more practice exam, use John Bonzo practice exam. And also from AWS, we have free sample questions. So you can do it on your own and then check your answer. And also there's a free practice exam. This is an official practice question set, actually. It's not a full practice exam, but I found it really helpful because the way they wrote the questions is really similar to the real exam. All right, most importantly, don't forget to review all the answers, especially why it's wrong, why it's right, and take notes. Okay. And by the way, for this official practice question set, you can access it from Skill Builder. Okay. Okay, a lot of people ask about this. So should I do more hands-on or not? The short answer is yes and no. So hands-on is highly recommended. It helps you to understand how the console works, how AWS works. It really gives you insight, and it gives you like a natural way to learn about the AWS itself. However, to pass an exam, it's not required. In fact, I myself did not do hands-on at all during my preparation for professional level exam. But what you can do is you can also watch someone else do the hands-on instead. So for example, like this during the Udemy video, you can just watch it. All right, I gave you a lot of information, but the most important thing is to make a progress. So to do so, you have to set a good time management and priority. So my recommendation is either you study 1 to 2 hours every day, or you can just dedicate for example, half day during weekends or public holiday. Sometimes you're busy, you're too tired, or you're sad because your cat died. That's okay. I have that problem a lot, so the second option is actually work the best for me. All right, so you still don't have time. That's okay. I tell you how to prioritize your study. So this priority order works the best for me. So you do the practice exams first. Don't worry if your score is really bad. And then you review the answers. And then if you still don't understand things, you can go back to video courses or books. And if you still have time, you can just do the hands-on. All right, this is just to give you a visualization. So this bar graph represents 1 day of our day, which is 24 hours. Say you sleep 8 hours and you study 5 hours. You still have 11 hours to do whatever you want. So if you don't have time, please make time. Okay, so before exam day. So this is what my recommended things that you have to do before exam day. The first one is to not study too much. As you can see, if you study too much before the exam day, you'll just give yourself more anxiety and you'll be like this guy right here. His head is smoky. Don't be this guy. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of difference when you study too much on the day before, while you already study almost every day or every weekends before. And have a good rest and relax. Remember, it's a long exam. You need a lot of energy to be able to focus on your exam. Okay, this is if you take the exam online. So test your system again, because this has happened to me actually. So I tested my system probably a week or 2 weeks before. And then just probably 5 hours before my exam, I tried to test my system again, and somehow it didn't work. So it gave me, I panicked. It gave me a lot of anxiety, and you don't want to, break your concentration just because of your system. Okay, and if you take your exam at this test center, please double check your test center location. In Japan, we have a lot of so many stations, so many exits, and a lot of weird buildings. You don't want to be lost and late for the exam, because that will give you more anxiety, and it's probably will be hard for you to focus during the actual exam. All right, this is so. You're now on the day of the exam. I want to share with you the exam strategy that I think you should do during the exam. Okay, first of all, do the math. Do the math of the time. So people make mistakes. They actually over expected that the time is enough, because it's kind of like, 1 hour and a half, 3 hours, that's a long time. But actually, when you're sit down in front of your computer doing the exam, you blink one time and 1 minute just pass. It's that intense. So a very simple formula right here. So please count your duration of your exam divided by number of questions. That will be your max time per questions. So for example, for SAA, it's 130 minutes divided by 65 questions. So you have maximum 2 minutes to spend on one question. All right. Okay, also look away from the screen once in a while. Sometimes the reason why you cannot focus is because you see the screen too long. So our eyes tend to get tired. So please just look away from the screen once in a while, or just close your eyes once in a while. Love your eyes. Eye doctors are expensive. All right. And then I think you heard this a lot, but I cannot stress this one more time, because this is really helped me to answer a lot of questions. So even if you don't understand fully the questions, try to find and match the keywords, which is also related to the fourth point, which is the elimination strategy. So after finding the keywords, eliminate the answers that does not relate it or doesn't make sense to the keyword itself. So you can focus on other answers that have more chance to be right. Okay, so I think if we still have time, I would like to do a little bit of hands-on on this one. But that's all from me. So I will open this part for Q&A and discussion. So if anyone has any questions or has anything to share, please raise your hand, or you just can unmute yourself. Okay, no questions so far. Are we good? Okay, if no questions, I would like to show you about the elimination strategy. All right, so now I'm in the AWS Skill Builder, as you can see here. So how did I get into this page? It's actually from, remember this page? It's from here. So this is the official practice question set. When I click here, the the question is in the scale builder. So let's just try, just for an example, just try this first. So SAA C03 practice exam. Right, start here. Okay. Let's do this question together. I will give you time to read this message, and also please read the answer. Okay. I think everyone have enough time to read. So to be honest with you, I don't know the answer of these questions. But this is a good example because we can learn from the elimination strategy. So usually the most important information is in the questions sentence. So which is here. This is a questions, right? Okay. And what I want you to pay attention to is this part. The most cost effective. Okay, so we know that, okay, the most cost effective, they want the solution that is the cheapest. Okay, so let's look at the answers right here. Let's say A, magnetic storage. I'm not sure what magnetic storage is. I don't know if it's even a thing. Let's skip it. And we have this general purposes, and provision IOPS storage. All right, just from these three things, which one is the most expensive? Okay, you can unmute yourself or just maybe leave a chat. Which one is the most expensive? A, B, C, or D?
I guess D is the most expensive.
Yes. Yes, I think so. I think so. Because usually the keywords here is general purposes and IOPS. Usually IOPS is more expensive. So we can roll this out. Okay. So we have these three things right here. All right, so we still don't know about this magnetic storage, right? But somehow we know that the most cheapest one is the general purposes. Okay, let's say this is, yeah, maybe this is correct, maybe this is wrong, but let's just roll this out first. Okay, and what is the next keyword that we have to see? It's this one. It need at least 40 gigabytes of storage. Okay, so if more than 40 gigabytes is okay. In this case, we see 50 gigabytes is okay, more than 40 gigabyte, and 334 gigabyte is also more than 40 gigabyte. But I think, right, if you see carefully, I think to be able to provision an SSD, there is a minimum gigabyte that we have to set. If I'm not mistaken, it's 100 gigabyte, right? So in that case, this 50 gigabyte is less than 100 gigabytes. So we cannot provision 50 gigabyte. We have to provision 100, right? So the only option that is more than 100 is this one, the C one. Okay, let's try if this is correct. Yep, it's correct. It is correct. All right. And let's see why B is wrong. All right, it's a with minimum 100 IOPS right here, right? So this is a rollout. So as you can see, how I actually don't really, because I don't remember exactly about MariaDB and stuff like this and SSD, but we'll be able to answer this correctly because of the elimination strategy. So usually what you have to focus, if you really don't know, but this is usually, okay, see the option that is really, really similar. Usually there, out of 4 options, that usually 2 are really similar. So in this case, B and C is really similar, right? So in this case, when you don't know the answer, you can just focus on these 2 options right here, and you can actually increase the chance to get right answers. Okay. So I give you this example. You can just do this again and again. Next, like here, for example, like here, maybe the answer is this B or C. I didn't read this, but anyway, maybe B or C, or maybe we have to read this. Maybe it's snowball. But you get the idea. So this is how sometimes I don't understand correctly. Sometimes I forgot about things. But when you can eliminate for example, the keywords that is unrelated, or maybe doesn't make sense, you can higher your chance to select the right answer. Okay. All right. I'll just go back to this discussion things. Is there anyone would like to share, or please? Yes, please.
Yes. I have a question. When you are doing the exam, there are a lot of questions, right? So sometimes maybe you don't know how to answer one question.
Okay.
Do you usually skip the question and then come back to it, or do you try and answer and then do you have any suggestions for that?
Okay. I leave it to you, but because it doesn't really matter how you do it. The really important thing is the time management itself, because sometimes when you don't know, you just don't know, right? You just don't know the answer because it is what it is, like shogunai, because we didn't study that, for example. But in my case, I usually try to just answer just like that, just what I show you before. Try to guess the correct answer, and then just answer whatever that is, and then I flagged it, and then by the end of the, if I still have time, by the end of the exam, I will just get back through and then think about it one more time. This is what I usually do.
Mhm.
And what I recommend you to not to do is leave it blank. Don't ever leave it blank, because you never know when you out of time, right? So the exam doesn't have a minus score. So even if you're wrong, it just gives you 0 score, not minus. So there is no harm in guessing.
I see. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Oh, can I have one more question?
Yes, of course.
So when you mentioned doing the elimination method for questions that can have multiple answers,
Mhm.
Is there a different method, or do you usually do the same? Try the same thing?
I usually do the same thing, but this is just when you really don't know, like you have no idea about the question itself, because sometimes it doesn't work that way, to be honest with you. But most of the time, it works that way, because that's how AWS right now write the exam and write the answers. But see, if you one day, if you do some practice exam, or you do your actual exam, and you see that, oh, this method, it doesn't work anymore, please let me know. But as long as I took the exam 4 times, it always works that way.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. And yes, it was very insightful. I learned a lot. Thank you.
All right. No worries. Thank you so much. All right. Anyone else have questions or anything you want to share? Okay, no questions. Okay, Lillian, do you have any questions?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's very helpful.
All right. Thank you. Okay, if はい、ありがとうございます。Yeah, so I will share this with you if you want to see the YouTube video or the books that I share. It's just click. It's all a clickable link, and in case the link doesn't work, just let me know. All right. If there's anything, that's all from me today. I hope it was useful. So thank you, and I wish you the best and good luck, everyone, and have a great weekend.